Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today's message is all about challenging your belief system in order to keep an open mind. And the reason why I wanted to bring this message to you guys today is that I've had a very challenging my belief system kind of day. And today I'm you guys probably know that I'm staying in Utah at the moment, and I had never heard of Mormonism. I didn't know who Mormons were. You know, I come from Australia, and the part of the world that I'm in, it's so different from the States. Like, I'm finding here that there is such a vast difference in belief systems, in religious belief systems. And so I'm somebody who is always wanting to challenge my belief system because I really value open-mindedness, and I'm always so fascinated in why people believe the things that they do and how that works for them. And so, so today, a friend of mine took me to Temple Square, which is a place here in Utah, which is where, it's for Mormons, and it's about how to, you go into this place, and it's kind of a bit of a tourist sort of attraction to educate people on what Mormonism is. And I don't even know if it's called Mormonism. I'm just going to call it that. But, so you go into this place, and there's different people working a mission and trying to introduce you to what their religion is. And it was a really, really interesting sort of day going into this environment and being introduced to the kind of belief system that I've never actually come across in the whole of my life. I've never been introduced to this kind of belief system. And I even got given this today, and I know it's back the front for you guys, but it's the Book of Mormon. And I found I wanted to use it as sort of a personal sort of development journey for myself, see how it triggered me, see what sort of thoughts came up for me, and ideally challenge my own belief system with an openness to learning. And because I really value having an understanding of other people's perspectives. And so it was really, really fascinating, really, really eye-opening. And I found myself getting triggered on a few things, because ultimately I grew up in kind of like quite a scientific background. Side of, my family were kind of, they didn't follow a particular religion. And as I got older, I actually moved up to Sydney from Melbourne, and that's when I went to a Christian school, and I was introduced to more religion. And I always found it interesting. But over here in the States, it's just like completely mind-shifting and really different to anything that I've ever experienced. And going into this environment and sort of trying to understand their perspective and their point of view and where it all sort of originated from, it's really challenging to your belief system. And there were some things through what I was learning that kind of were a little bit triggering, and I was noticing that my body language was shifting. I was kind of like crossing my arms. I was feeling kind of a little bit anxious or uncomfortable, and I noticed this within myself. And because my focus was on learning, being more open-minded, I shifted my physiology to sort of, be more open to it. And, I got to talk to one of the sisters there and ask her a few questions and sort of just get some understanding as to, why they believe what they do and what they actually do believe. And it was very, very eye-opening, and it was like a different experience to any that I've had before. And that's why I really wanted to bring this message to you guys today, and just get you thinking, where in your life are you currently being really closed-minded? And it would be really scary for you to venture into a realm of a different religion or a different belief system. And I would really challenge you to anything that kind of scares you and throws you off. I challenge you to go and do it, because if you have a value on your own personal growth, which I know that you do if you're watching a video like this, then I would challenge you to go and have a willingness for your belief system to be changed. That's where I feel we get really, when we're really comfortable in who we are and we're in alignment with our authentic selves, we can put ourselves into an environment that challenges our belief system. And ultimately, what that's going to do for you is be able to get to a depth of connection with anybody. I really believe in, not excluding people. I believe in having an inclusion. So finding similarities rather than focusing on our differences and how different they are and how right we are and how wrong others are. Actually coming with an open mind to actually shift your perspective and get inside another person's shoes and see why they do what they do. And ultimately, when we come from that place, we can build true connection with others, and we're not coming from that that judgmental, exclusive sort of perspective. I really value having an open mind and learning and trying to understand. And there's so much that we can learn from people who have totally different belief systems to us. And I think it's a great place to be able to come from. It takes a lot of strength to be able to put yourself in that kind of shift in belief system and have an openness and a willingness to learn from others. There's so much power in that, and definitely in recognizing what triggers us so that we can work on our own selves and develop ourselves, but also connect more deeply with others and focus on finding the similarities as opposed to focusing on the differences and disconnecting. So I hope this is it's a bit of a different message for you guys today. I hope that it resonates with you. I hope that it's getting you sort of thinking about where in your life you're currently kind of closed-minded, and maybe you need to put yourself in an environment which totally shakes things up for you, to open yourself up and value open-mindedness so that you can connect more fully and create more depth in your relationships and connections. So I want to check in with you guys and see what you think, but definitely drop any questions, comments below, and let me know what you think about this topic. And awesome to have you back, Stephen and Jeremy, love it, and Andy, and Jan and Caden, lovely to have you, and Lauro. Yes, big hello to you, beautiful Jan, and thanks, a good day to you, Caden and Rhett. Yes, Stephen, it's a big religion, yeah, and it's something that's I really wasn't aware of, and I absolutely get so fascinated with learning about people's different religions and backgrounds and their belief systems, and it totally fascinates me because human behavior fascinates me, and I love expanding and challenging my belief system. I think it's a really valuable tool for you guys to think about in your lives. And yes, Ashley and Kane and Moises, hello to you, and Maggie and Ansa and Eric, lovely to have you back, and Billy. And yes, Stephen, they call it Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. Okay, yeah, I think I've heard of that. I just have so much to learn in terms of religion. Yes, Jan, Mormons are in Australia, everywhere. It is a religion, like I can't even say it, Jehovah's Witnesses. Mormons do door knocking and spread their religious belief system to people at the front door or front gate. Yeah, I have heard of that happening in Australia like so often, but I actually haven't experienced that. Jehovah's Witnesses, yes, I have heard of them, never experienced it. And I know a couple of people in my life who have sort of been through Mormonism their entire lives and actually gone on these missions, and it's really fascinating because the people that I know have actually left that religion. And I just think it's so fascinating to hear from people who have lived their whole lives with this really strict religious belief. Like, I've heard things like, they can't have coffee, alcohol, like all these sort of really different things that I just haven't thought about, and different roles for men and women, and polygamous marriages and things like this. And it's just it's so interesting. It's really, really interesting. And thanks for sharing your comments there, Jan, appreciate it. And Chris and Haji, And Eric and Robert, nice to have you. Moises, no, I'm not Mormon. I'm definitely not Mormon. I'm just learning about it, and it's quite interesting. And like, I'm using this as a personal development tool to be able to like learn about people's different belief systems that are totally so different to mine, and see how that triggers me, and see what work I could be doing on myself, because ultimately I really value having an open mind and understanding others and finding the similarities that we can connect on, rather than being judgmental and closed-minded and fearful that their belief system is going to jeopardize my own belief system. So that's why I'm sort of like into this at the moment, just checking it out and just learning about different people. So thanks for the question there, Moises, and Ty and Andy and Mark and Jessica. Awesome to have you guys back. And Donald, nice to have you. And Jan, I am born again Christian, attend a loud, vibrant Pentecostal church every Sunday at 10. A fantastic band and singers engage in pop style music rather than traditional solemn church songs. Awesome. I'd love to even learn more about that, Jan. It really fascinates me, and I think that's one of the things I'm really excited about being in the States with, and I'm going to be heading down to Texas at some stage as well, and I hear that, you know, there's lots of different sort of really out there kind of religions that I'm going to just go. I'm even going to go into a Scientology place. I'm really interested in just seeing, like, just expanding my mind. So it's going to be a really interesting experience. Judy, awesome to have you. And Hassani, I love it. And Luke, awesome to have you. And Wes, hello from sunny Queensland. Yes, I love it. Yes, I love that this is resonating with you, Wes. And Frank, awesome to have you. And Tony and Kaden, definitely done this and still do. I was so tangled in belief systems. They can be a matrix within a matrix. So I try to stay as open-minded as possible without letting go of practical and beneficial perspectives. Like what you share. Awesome. Keep that open mind of yours. Keep asking those questions. Systems for the people, not people for the systems. I love that, Kaden. And yeah, I know that you have so much wisdom on this topic. I'd love to dive more into with you. It's so fascinating to hear people's journeys through religion, and you know, there's a lot of similarities. I think that religion is one way of thinking about, you know, how we grow up and who we think we're expected to be. You know, I didn't grow up in a religious paradigm, but I did have a perspective around who I thought I needed to be in order to be loved. And it's sort of that tribal mentality. And I personally had to break free of that in order to live an authentic life for me. And I hear so many people who I speak to who have left their religion, or they've shifted their religion, or whatever. They've had to go through a very similar process to me, even though it wasn't religion that I necessarily left. So I appreciate you so much, Kaden. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on this. Love it. And Alan, awesome to have you. Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses, yes. And Jessica, are Jehovah's Witnesses, are they Mormons? Is that the same thing? Guys, let me know, because I have no idea. I really need to educate myself on this, and that's what I'm doing. Jessica, I don't think self-awareness should be categorized in any religion. Self-awareness is oneself and not bound. Yeah, and I think that, you know, religions potentially, like personally, some of the stuff that was triggering me today was what I came to discover was it's kind of the opposite in a way to the mission that I want to serve. Like, I was talking with my friend about this, and I was saying that, you know, some of the things that I was hearing felt like they were very shame producing. It felt like people had to be one certain way. And my belief is that every single human being, we are all things. And we actually need to drop the rules, and we need to become fully self-accepting of all of who we are, so that we can really live authentically and we can really give authentically. And sometimes when we're put in paradigms where there is shame inducing and there are so many rules and restrictions, we're human beings, and when we feel like we can't be accepted for all of who we are, we shut down and we live inauthentically at times. And that's scary to me, and that's kind of upsetting to me, and that's, you know, I haven't had the time to really do the work on myself with that, but that's some of the things were sort of coming up for me as I was sort of learning and asking questions and diving into a religion I knew nothing about, and I still know nothing really about, but that's some of the things were coming up for me about, just some shame-inducing things, that really, that gets me triggered. That does trigger me. It triggers me because I want people to feel like they are worthy for all of who they are right here, right now. You know, we don't need to be fixed. We don't need to have a set of rules and regulations in order to be worthy of love and to live authentically. And that's what sort of comes up for me, and that's what I'll be doing, you know, much writing on in the coming days, and some introspective work on myself to see how I can use it to develop myself as well. So I love this topic. And I know it can be controversial, but definitely let me know what you guys think about this. And thanks so much for sharing your comments there, Jessica. Much appreciated. Laval, awesome to have you. And wow, Ellen. And yes, to a particular belief, Jessica. Not totally sure what you meant. You're probably commenting as I was talking. Josue, awesome to have you. Jan, the Mormon and Jehovah's Witnesses, I don't know. Women more often than not do not work. Okay, they tend to bore home and children, and are allocated areas to door knocking during the day. Okay. It's just so out of my realm. I'm fascinated to learn about how people live through this and why they do it. It's really, really interesting. And thanks for sharing your wisdom here, Jan. And Moises, I understand, I've been in Utah. Nice people over there. Yeah, beautiful people, beautiful place. I'm really, really enjoying it. And it's the first day I sort of feel awake because I've had a bit of jet lag. But yeah, it's been really interesting. Jen, travel and getting out of your comfort zone is healthy. Definitely, most definitely. And, when we travel and we get out of our comfort zone, we're introduced to different cultures, different belief systems, different ways of living, and it can really help to expand and, trigger ourselves, test ourselves, and work out what works for us and what doesn't. So I love that. And Jan, home, not boom. Okay, got it. And Stephen, did they tell you about their leader, Joseph Smith? Yes, they did. I think that was like the 14-year-old who got the vision back in the 1800s. And that was kind of interesting to learn about. And I know that they have a prophet now. I forget his name. But I was sort of asking some questions around how he came to be a prophet, and why women can't be prophets. It's only reserved for men, and all sorts of different questions. It was, it's really interesting, and I don't know much. I only know a little bit. I've only started learning about it for a couple of hours today. Craig, awesome to have you. And Jan, yes, check out a Scientology church. I don't know much about them, but I definitely want to experience whilst in the US. So I was here in the US last year a couple of times, and I went past a couple of these Scientology sort of like places where you can go in, and I really wanted to go in there and see what it was all about, because I've watched a documentary about Scientology, and it was just like so different to what I live. And so I'm definitely going to make sure that I get to a Scientology place, I don't know, and just go check it out and test myself again. So it'll be really interesting. Thanks, Jan. And not wearing your reading glasses, love it. And hi, Uncle, nice to have you. And you're welcome, Alan. And okay, so it's different. Thanks for letting me know there, Jan. And Moises, definitely. I love being here in the US, and okay, they're different. Thanks for letting me know too, Ellen. Andrew, nice to have you. And Stan, grow and learn from the word. I think you mean world maybe, but yes, definitely. There's so much to learn from our differences, and really being open enough to getting into an environment that is so different to your level of believing, and just challenge yourself. I think it's really good to expand. And thanks, Jen. I'm so grateful that this is resonating with you. And Jan, Mormons do not believe that the Bible is the entire world on scripture. They rely on their own book called the Book of Mormon. Yeah, got a copy. And they distribute their book to people when door knocking in the neighborhood. Yeah, it's interesting. Yes, hey Hassani, hope you're enjoying your time here. Yes, I am definitely enjoying my time here, and yeah, definitely catch the recording. Charles, awesome to have you. Caden, yes, no need to be fixed, with you 110%. Definitely, and that's really the message that I hope to instill in people, is that they are so appreciated, they're so loved for all of who they are right here, right now. You know, and that's what was kind of, as I was sort of learning and sort of going through Temple Square today, and that was kind of what was coming up for me. It felt, yeah, I felt kind of restricted. I felt worried about people, you know, being put into shameful sort of situations where they couldn't feel who, or couldn't be all of who they were. And, you know, maybe I'm getting it wrong, I don't know, but that was kind of a bit of my perception. And yeah, so I appreciate your comments here, Caden. Love that this is resonating. And Jehovah, thank you. I couldn't get that right. Thanks, Jan. Okay, God is Jehovah. Okay, you're educating me so much. I appreciate it. And Jessica, right on. We're all here on our own purpose. No one should be shut down for following their paths because of someone else's following a path set for them by others. Yes, if that makes sense. Yes, it definitely does. And I appreciate you sharing your comments here, Jessica. And David, awesome to have you. And yes, love it. And Carolina, and you might bump into Tom Cruise, yeah, in Scientology. That'd be interesting. And Nathan, awesome to have you. Okay, and Dennis and Francesca, and thank you, Moises, and hey there, Francesca, and Salem, and Dennis, awesome, thanks for sharing. Grateful that this is, you know, interesting for you. And awesome. And Salem, yes. And Jan, no, not world. He does not mean, oh, word. Okay, the word is scripture. Oh, okay, gotcha. You guys are definitely educating me on religion today, because I'm trying to educate myself so that I can better understand others, and therefore better be able to connect with others, and definitely expand my open-mindedness, because I really, really value that. And I don't think that we can have depth of connection with a closed mind. So I really hope that today's message has resonated with you. It's been an interesting topic for you. It's way different to anything that I've shared with you guys yet. So yeah, I just hope that that's been valuable for you, and it's got you questioning where in your life right now are you kind of closed-minded, and maybe you need to go and challenge your belief systems and get in an environment that is so different to yours with an open mind. See how it triggers you, and see how you can use that experience for your own personal growth. So I love that, and thank you so much for everybody who's just joined me. I hope that you guys catch the recording and you get some value from today's message. I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything coming at you to wherever you are in the world today. I'm in beautiful Utah. I'm loving it, and yeah, really expanding my mind in terms of religion at the moment. It's just, yeah, so different for me. So I'm really, really excited about that. And before I sign off, thank you so much, Jen, and thank you so much for sharing, Jan. I appreciate it so much. And Caden, what an incredible dynamic to be so enlightened without using the most popular tool for gaining enlightenment, religion. Yeah, I love it, Caden, and I love that thought. And you know, I always like to say that my religion is love, and love is inclusive. It's not exclusive. Love is for everybody, and love is to build others up and to connect on the deepest level. You know, it's judgment free. It is totally understanding and open-minded, and you are wholly lovable as you are right here, right now. You don't have to, you know, abide by any rules in particular to make it. And yeah, it's really challenging, but I love you sharing your comments here, Caden, as always. Thanks, Salem, and your best bet is to Google both religions. Yeah, I will definitely, Stephen. Thank you so much. And Nice of you guys to join. Rose and Shane, I'm just about to sign off, but definitely I hope you guys catch the recording and you gain some value from today's message. And Kaden, yes, so much love and freedom to you as well, and to all of you guys out there. And definitely, Jan, judgment free. I love it. So guys, that is it from me today, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. So I hope that if you have any questions, comments, feedback for me as to how I could be adding more value to you guys, definitely drop it below or shoot me a message. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, make sure you book in a 15-minute power session with me. I'd love to get to meet you and connect with you. And if you are in the States, let me know where you are. And I'd love for one day for our paths to cross at some stage. I'm going to be here in Utah, heading down to Houston, even get to Vegas potentially. So, you know, let me know where you are, and that would be awesome. And yeah, Fiona, I hope you catch a recording, and Gustavo, I hope you catch a recording. I'm about to leave. And so much love to you, Shane. And yeah, and Moises, the melatonin for jet lag. I don't have any, but I've gotten over it naturally. So I think tomorrow I'll be 100% over it. So much love to you guys. Thank you to everybody who's got to jump on and engage with me today. I appreciate each of you so much. And I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.